The Order of Canons Regular of Prémontré, also known as the Premonstratensians, the Norbertines, and, in Britain and Ireland, as the White Canons, are a Roman Catholic religious order of canons regular founded in Prémontré near Laon in 1120 by Saint Norbert, who later became Archbishop of Magdeburg. Premonstratensians are designated by O.Praem, following the name. Norbert was a friend of Saint Bernard of Clairvaux and so was largely influenced by the Cistercian ideals as to both the manner of life and the government of his order. As the Premonstratensians are not monks but canons regular, the work often involves preaching and the exercising of pastoral ministry. They frequently serve in parishes close to their abbeys or priories. History. The order was founded in 1120. Saint Norbert had made various efforts to introduce a strict form of canonical life in various communities of canons. In Germany, in 1120 he was working in the now extinct diocese of Laon, in the Picardy province of northeastern France. There, in a rural place called Prémontré, he and 13 companions established a monastery to be the cradle of a new order. As they were canons regular, they followed the rule of St. Augustine, but with supplementary statutes that made the life one of great austerity. Common prayer and celebration of the Eucharist was to be the sustaining dynamic of the community. In 1126, when the order received papal approbation by Pope Honorius II, there were 9 houses. Others were established in quick succession throughout Western Europe, so that at the middle of the 14th century there were some 1,300 monasteries for men and 400 for women. The Norbertines played a predominant part in the conversion of the Wends and the bringing of Christianity to the territories around the Elbe and the Oder rivers. In time mitigations and relaxations emerged, and these gave rise to reforms and semi-independent congregations within the order. The Norbertines came to England about 1143, first at Newhouse in Lincoln, and before the dissolution under Henry VIII there were 35 houses. Soon after their arrival in England, they founded Dryborough Abbey in the Borders area of Scotland, which was followed by other communities at Whitehorn Priory, De Congal Abbey and Tongland Abbey, all in the Borders area, as well as Fern Abbey in the northern part of the nation. Like most orders, they were almost completely devastated by the successive onslaughts of the Reformation, French Revolution and Napoleon, but then experienced a revival in the 19th century. By the beginning of the 19th century, the order had become almost extinct, only 8 houses surviving, all in Austria. However, there was something of a resurgence, and at the start of the 20th century there were 20 monasteries and 1,000 priests. As of 2005, the number of monasteries had increased to nearly 100 and spread to every continent. In 1893, Father Bernard Pennings and 2 other Norbertines from Bern Abbey came to the United States to minister to Belgian immigrants in northern Wisconsin. Desprez became the site of the first Norbertine abbey in the New World. In the 21st century, like all canons regular, they follow the Augustinian rule. In order to earn a living, the different communities had, as formerly, to create and operate small industrial activities such as printing, farming, cheese-making, running schools, agreements with breweries, retreat centers, astronomical observatories, artistic bookbinding, forestry and pilgrimages. According to the Premonstratensian website, there are some 1,000 male and 200 female members of the order. The Feast of All Norbertine Saints and Blesseds is celebrated internally on November 13. Canonesses. The order has several abbeys of women who, though technically called canonesses, who followed the life of an enclosed religious order and therefore more commonly termed Norbertine nuns. Like the Norbertine communities for men, those for women are autonomous. Unusually, within the religious communities of the Catholic Church. The Norbertine order has always seen the spiritual life of the canonesses as being on an equal footing with that of its priests and lay brothers. In the Middle Ages, the Premonstratensians even had a few double monasteries where men and women lived in cloisters located next to each other as part of the same abbey, the communities demonstrating the unity by sharing the church building. Today, it is common for a foundation of canonesses to have links not only with other canonesses but also a community of canons. On January 29, 2011, a canonry of the canonesses, the Bethlehem Priory of St. Joseph, was established with the solemn religious profession of the first 9 canonesses at the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, Fresno, California. The priory is located in Tehachapi, California, and by 2013 had grown to 26 members in all. The community was first founded as a public association of the faithful by the Norbertine canons of St. Michael's Abbey, Orange County, California. It is the first canonry of Norbertine canonesses founded in North America. Premonstratensian rite. The Premonstratensians were among the religious orders with their own rite who kept this rite after Pope Pius V suppressed such rites with a continuous tradition of less than 200 years. The Premonstratensian rite was especially characterized by a ritual solemnity. The Premonstratensian rite was also characterized by an emphasis on the Paschal mystery unique among the Latin rites. This was especially seen in the solemnity with which the daily conventional High Mass and Office was celebrated during the Easter octave, especially Vespers, which concluded with a procession to the baptismal font, a practice paralleled among the Latin rites only in similar processions still found in the Ambrosian rite. Another unique practice of the Premonstratensian rite was the celebration of a daily votive Mass in honor of the Blessed Virgin Mary in each of its abbeys and priories. Structure. As each abbey or priory is autonomous, practices and apostolates differ. Some are contemplative in character whilst others are highly active in pastoral ministry. However, each is guided by the rule of St. Augustine as well as the constitutions established by the General Chapter, which is held every 6 years. Demonstrating Norbertine unity. The General Chapter includes representatives from both male and female communities. The head of the order, termed Abbot General, resides in Rome, and he is assisted in his duties by the definitors as well as commissions established for various aspects of the order's life such as liturgy and inter-abbey communications. As of 2012, there were Premonstratensian abbeys or priories throughout the world: Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Czech Republic, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Denmark, France, Germany, Hungary, India, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Peru, Poland, Romania, Russia, Slovakia, South Africa, Spain, Switzerland, United Kingdom and USA. There are 7 circuries: Anglicus Circari, Bohemian Circari, Brabanticus Circari, Gallicus Circari, Germanicus Circari, Hungaricus Circari, Portuguesus Circari. Notable members: Robert J. Cornell, Democratic U.S. Congressman from Wisconsin from 1975 to 1979 and Professor of Political Science at Saint Norbert College. Prokop Divis, Czech inventor. Jean Drouis, Belgian canon regular and abbot. Charles Louis Hugard, French historian and bishop. St. Hermann Joseph von Steinfeld, German canon regular and mystic. Johann Laul, Bohemian prior who later became Archbishop of Prague. Brendan Smith, Roman Catholic priest and prolific child molester. Winfried van Straten, known for his humanitarian work, particularly as founder of the International Catholic Association Aid to the Church in Need. Francis Wijmans, Belgian abbot. Johann Zahn, German canon who wrote on the camera obscura and who invented an early camera. Controversies. Northern Ireland's Historical Abuse Inquiry investigated reports that Brendan Smith, a member of the Norbertine order, was allowed to continue paedophilia for more than 4 decades, even after Smith himself had admitted in 1994, the same year that he was jailed for his crimes, that over the years of religious life it could be that I have sexually abused between 50 and 100 children. The number could even be doubled, or perhaps even more. Abbeys.